We just received this monitor. This is a Gigabyte m32u gaming monitor. So this one is going to be 144 Hertz, UHD 4K, IPS super speed, Type C, KVM, Smart OD, 6-axis color control, game assist, Sidekick OSD, auto update, flicker free, and it has built-in speakers. It also is easy on the eyes with the iSafe certified. It has HDMI and it is VESA certified display HDR. This monitor can be found on Amazon. It runs for about $7.99. Sometimes goes on sale for about $7.60, but it's actually a fairly good price for the monitor. We will have to unbox it and test it out, but the reason why I got it is because I want to test it out with the PlayStation 5, being that it does support HDMI 2.1 with 120 Hertz on 4K. So that'll be interesting to see how this monitor holds up on the PlayStation 5. I have previously done a video on the Samsung Odyssey, and it was one of my favorite monitors at the moment. But this is a great current monitor that's just been released with the support for full HDMI 2.1 on the PlayStation 5. So we can go ahead and test it and exactly see how good it is. This is a 32-inch, and you can see everything that it has. So let's go ahead and unbox this. Here you have your DisplayPort cable. You have a USB cable, an HDMI cable. We'll have to see if this is 2.1, which says 8K, so this one should be hopefully a 2.1 high-speed cable. You have your power cable. International cable, and another international cable. So they give you other markets included as well. Here we have the legs. We have the instructions. So once you get it all connected, there's a switch on the back. Go ahead and flip the switch right next to the power connector and hit the power button. So as you guys can recall in the previous video, we enabled the M2 slot. We're gonna go ahead and format that real quick. And now let's go ahead and update the software. Let's go into the settings, and now that we're done with that, let's go to screen and video. So right now we are at 4K video transfer rate. It's all set up. Just HDR, we just did that. HDR is on, deep color is automatic, and enable 120 Hertz is automatic as well. And this tells us, so right now it's at 60 Hertz. It supports 2.3 HDCP, and it gives us the frequencies that it does support. So if you look at the frequency supported, it is 120 Hertz. So it does support full 120 Hertz on non-HDR and on HDR with HDMI 2.1, since it does have that compatibility. Now let's see if we have a game that we can test out. So even though not every game outputs at 120 frames per second, the support for 120 Hertz is going to be how fast the monitor itself refreshes. So there are some benefits to it. This is just my experience so far from playing on a 60 Hertz TV that you see in the back compared to 120 Hertz monitor. So the G5 display that we had a review on, unboxing and setting up and getting it to work in 4K on a PlayStation 5, that one was 120 Hertz on 1080p, and it was 60 Hertz when it came to the 2.5K 4K conversion. Because it does not have HDMI 2.1, that's where the limitation was, and it was also not a full 4K monitor. You did get a great display and great gameplay, but this one does feel different. This 144 Hertz native, but supports 120 Hertz on the PlayStation 5 due to the HDMI 2.1 input. When it comes to the settings, if you use the button on the back, you can change some of the default settings, but I think if you connect it to a computer, you'll have way more options. As of right here, you can see there's volume adjustments that you can do because it has built-in speakers, but that's about it. We really didn't see many other options. Now, if you use the other connectivity, a USB-C, or connecting it to a gaming machine, you should have way more options with FreeSync and other changes. So here we changed the HDR. That's about as much as we could do. Adjustment for the HDR and turning it on. So far it looks good. Color wise it's good. It's an LCD display, so you're not going to get the OLED colors. The blacks are pretty good. Here we have some lighting, so you see certain blacks were a little bit washed out. Same thing on the background, they look a little bit grayish, but in person it looks a little bit better. When it comes to the colors, they do pop out and they look good. But now when it comes to the gameplay, That's going to be the bigger form factor, is if you notice any change. And as I'm recording this voiceover, so I've already done the video, I can tell you that there is a benefit to the gameplay. The monitors that you see in the back, or TVs, are Vizio TVs with 60 Hz 4K support, but there are certain things that it's missing, and that could be just how fast it responds to certain aspects in the game. One thing that I noticed when I play, for instance, FIFA on the other TVs and the players are running, sometimes you'll see a little bit of a streak behind them. Now, I did not see that in this, and I feel like the game is way more fluid, way more responsive. It just felt different overall. And as you can see just here from slight movement, it feels a little bit better compared to some of the other ones. This is shot in 4K at 60 frames per second, so hopefully you can get the most out of it. The reason why I would say this is a great monitor is because of the price range. The G5, if you want it with full support, you're going to be looking at a very hefty price. And the G5 that I tested prior, which was a 2.5K with support for 4K because it does a conversion on the monitor itself, but the output is still going to be only at 2.5. That's where the limitation is. And 1080p supports 120 Hz, where the 2.5 only supports 60 Hz. So that's due to some of the limitations on the plugins, which does not have HDMI 2.1. HDMI 2.1 is needed for the PlayStation 5 to take the full capability of 120 Hz at 4K. So at the price of close to $800 after taxes for this monitor, it's a great purchase. It gives you what you're looking for. It is responsive, the colors are good, and you can find it on Amazon. I'll include the link so you guys can look it up and see if this is something that you're looking for. 32 inches, great display, great colors, built-in speakers, and gives you a lot of inputs. So if you're looking for a desk setup, this is a good buy. If you have a gaming machine and you want to connect your consoles, or if you just have a gaming machine and you want to connect to it, it's a great purchase. It does really give you a lot of connections and options. But if you are looking for it to replace a television and you're going to be using it for media, then I would recommend looking at other TVs. If you guys want to see some of the TVs that I highly recommend, let me know and I can make a video on. I got this just because I tested the G5 monitor and I liked it, and a lot of people watched the video and some of them had questions about other monitors that will be compatible. So we made this video but with the compatible monitors that are on the market now. Being that the price has gone down compared to the intro price of some are over $1,000. So if you're looking for some TVs with full capability, just like some of these monitors, let me know and we can definitely get one hands on one of them and make a video. So just hit that in the comments. But for now, this is a great purchase. I will include all of the information in the descriptions, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. Setup was very easy, comes with all the cables, and even if you are buying internationally, this does work internationally because it comes with all 3 plugs. So for the price, great monitor. It'll be amazing once the prices come even more down. So this started, I believe it was $799, and now it's around $720, $730. So it's already going down, but it'll be nice to see these monitors hit the price of $400 to $500, but we probably won't see that for another year or so. This is a great start to the conversion into 4K HDMI 2.1 support 120 Hz for your setup if you are looking to go away from a TV. Now, if you want a TV, we will try to get one and make video on it, so stay tuned for more. But hope you guys like this content. Put stuff in the comments, hit the like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.